Hey guys, so I am back with a new video, and this video is made by popular request. I actually put this up on Facebook group that I follow of crafting, and I put it up on the site, and a lot of people were just questioning how to do this, and I explained that I do it using contouring on Design Space, and it's a little bit complicated, so I figured let me do a video so I can show you guys exactly how I made this. And as you can see, it's actually a couple of layers. It is about 4 layers. Also, just before I go ahead with the video, I want to explain to you guys, this is all cardstock. Everything is cardstock, and what I did is I glued it all together. After you actually cut everything out, you're going to put it together as a puzzle. So I always I suggest that once, I know I'm talking before, but once it's time to actually glue it, I suggest that you guys use this here as a guide to help you glue the pieces together. Also, the glue that I used for this project to glue all the pieces together is this right here. It is art glitter, and it's pretty good, and it comes with this here. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it's like a little fine tip that you guys would use on here. You take this piece off and you would put it here, and it's easier to use when it's time to make projects like this, which you don't need too much glue, and you don't want to make too much of a mess. And it also dries clearly. As you can see, there's really no glue anywhere, so when I used it, there was some glue around the pieces that I glued together, but it's awesome. I really recommend this glue. It's I'm gonna actually put it down in the description below so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Maybe some of you are already using it, but anyways, let me stop talking and let's get to the video so I can show you guys exactly how I did this Grinch, which I loved how it turned out to be. He is about 4 and almost 5 inches tall, so he's awesome. And I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, whatever you guys want to do. Let me know. All right, so here we go. Hey guys, so here we are on Design Space, and this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be contouring 4 different images to get our Grinch, and let's start with a new page. Let me save this. So we're gonna go to Google, and this is where I got my image. I went ahead and I just Googled Grinch images, and I'm going to pick this one right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna save this image because we're going to convert it into an SVG file, which I'm gonna show you how to do next. So the website that I use is called svgcreator.com. I'm going to put it in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead. I just uploaded the file, and then it's pretty easy to use, and it just generates the SVG file. And once it's done right here, you will see your image come up, and you can go ahead and click download it so it can save onto your computer. I'm so sorry if I'm going kind of fast with the video. I just don't want to make it too lengthy. So here we go. We go back to your page, and we're going to upload the actual SVG file which you just downloaded. And I just go ahead and go continue, I think it is. just want to go ahead to the next page. Go ahead and upload your image. And then you're going to see on your right hand side, there's going to be like a breakdown of the image. So I went ahead and I zoomed, made it a little bit smaller so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So now we're going to go ahead and ungroup this image. And as you can see on the right hand side is everything that you're going to take out. So you're going to eliminate everything that you don't need. Like right here, I'm just cleaning up the image a little bit, because if you cut the file, then you just want to make it as clean as possible. So I went ahead and I zoomed in, and you can also look on the side, right hand side, which I should have done, and just take out any piece that you're not gonna need when it's time to cut. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just removing certain pieces like this right here. We're not going to use that. We just want the Grinch. So I just moved it over, and a little difficult here, but we just take this piece off, and this is another piece. And as you can see on the right hand side, you're just cleaning up the image and removing all the pieces that we don't want, like this part right here. So as you can see, we are left with our image, our Grinch image, and this is what we are going to be working with. So I suggest that you go ahead and save your work, because it's happened that in the past you're doing so much work and then something happens where you lose everything. So I suggest that you go ahead and save your work. And the next thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be duplicating our Grinch about 4 times. So you're going to go ahead and select your Grinch, go over to the right, and we're going to duplicate it 4 times, which we will be doing. And it means pretty much that each layer will signify a color. So we have 4 of them here, and let's start with the first one. So you can go ahead and make your other images invisible by going to the right hand side and making them invisible, so we can work with the first one. And the first one is going to be the back part of the Grinch, which means that this color will be black. So we're gonna go to contour, which is all the way in the bottom right hand. Let's click on that. So this part's a little tricky. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on the lighter gray image that's right on top of the hat. That is going to make your hat black. And then you're just going to go ahead and start making every piece black. You can also go on your right hand side. I'm using the left hand side, just I don't know why. It's more difficult doing it the way I'm doing. But you can always go on the right hand side and then just scroll and just make everything dark, especially when it comes to his fingers. You want to also zoom in, and by zooming in you can actually get a better picture of what you are putting black. Like once you turn everything black, it becomes a lighter gray. So just make sure that, you know, under his arms stay dark, which in your image will be white, if that makes sense. And just make sure everything is completely black. And don't worry if you can't see your image and you really can't tell what you're doing. You can always exit out of the contour and look at your image, and you can always go back to contour and just fix whatever you might have left in white. So you can always go ahead and play with this type of feature that we have here. So let's go ahead and exit out, and at this point we have our image in black, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next layer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click one of the images that we made invisible. We're going to take the black one and we're going to make that invisible. And now we're going to work on this layer, and this part here I'm going to use the contour again, and I'm only going to want to keep the white part of the image, which is the part around his neck, his hat,
and like around the waist area. That is going to be white. So we're going to go ahead and click the same thing, the first layer of the contouring, and then we're going to go ahead and just start making all the images that we don't want invisible. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing. Remember, the darker shade of gray is what we're going to keep. So something that I found helpful that you can do is on your phone, you can just upload the picture that you are, the actual picture of the Grinch, and you can just use it as a guideline so you know exactly what part, needs to be white, um, or what part needs to be red or green. It's a good way just to make sure that, you're doing everything correctly. Remember, you can always go back to each image and just fix it or take something out that you may have you may not need, or put something back that you may need. So you can always upload the picture somewhere on your phone or maybe on another window, so you can just go back to and refer to that picture. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and then you'll be able to see exactly the image after everything is done. All right, so now we have the image, which would be white on our Grinch. So now we are done with this layer, and we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is the hat and the shirt of the Grinch, which is red. So we are going to, go ahead and click on the other image that we have on the right hand side and go to contour. Click on the outside part once again, like we did before, the outside layer, which is lighter gray, and you're going to click on that, and then your image just kind of turns black. So once we do that, we're just going to go ahead and start taking out the pieces that we don't need, like the hat. We don't, with the white part, which we already did, we don't need that part. So we're only going to stay with the actual hat and the shirt, which is the red part of our image. Okay, so now I'm done with this layer, and we're going to go ahead and make it invisible and work on our last layer, which is the actual Grinch, the face, which will be green. So I just want to let you guys know that I am not an expert in contouring. This is the method that I came up with just playing around with Design Space, and I'm sure there's probably other ways, and there's other people that may know a little bit more about contouring and how to avoid some steps that I've done. But just feel free to comment and just let me know if there's any quicker method or steps that could be taken to make this. Moving right along, so we're going to continue with just making the green part of the Grinch, which is his face and his legs, his body, and the hands. So I might just fast forward a little bit since I'm going to be repeating steps that I've already done. So I went back to this image because I forgot that I needed to add a white part, which was the white part of the Grinch's eyes. So I went in and I went back and I just added that part because I totally forgot. So right here, I'm just going to upload this image, which I uploaded before doing this tutorial. And I'm just going to use it as a guideline just to make sure that all my pieces look exactly like this image here. So you can go ahead and do that as well. Or like I said before, you can use your image on your phone, but I prefer using it this way so I know exactly that everything that I'm using is on point. I'm going to change each layer to the color that, the appropriate color. So I put this in white and then I'm going to use the Grinch. I'm going to put him in green. One thing I noticed is I forgot to add his hands. So I'm going to go back and add them. Just going to finish up changing the layers into the colors. And then I'll just go back and add his hands. I really found this part so much fun because it's like you get to put the pieces together like a puzzle. So just make sure you have all your layers open and then you can just rearrange it. I'm gonna add his hands now and his fingers. Um, this part is a little complicated, but you can go ahead and you don't have to pick each piece because once you cut them, it cuts individually, so it's gonna be kind of hard just to paste them. So I think you can just cut a few fingers just to make sure that it looks okay. There was some pieces that I did leave out just because I felt like it was unnecessary. And once again, once you cut them, they're really tiny and it's kind of hard just to put together. So I just pretty much picked the bigger um, pieces to work with. And here we are. We have all the layers and you can just add it, put it together, and as you can see, it looks just like the image on the right, which is like so cool. Um, the only thing that in the image on the right, the Grinch's eyes are red. I just decided to leave it black just cause I feel like the less complicated you make it, the better it is when you're gonna put all the pieces together. So now we are going to go ahead and select all. You can change the size to whatever size you want. I went ahead and I changed mine. I think it was about 4.9 because I wanted to make sure that it fit on your standard size paper size, which is what, 8.5 by 11. So I figured this is a good size for me to cut it and make sure that everything was okay. When it's time to cut and you click on make it, you'll see that it's going to cut in 4 different um, mats, which is fine. And then that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think of it, and turn on your notification buttons. And I'm so happy I was able to complete this video for you guys because I know a lot of people on Facebook group, on the group I follow, were asking about it. So here it is. Thanks, guys. Bye.